Welcome back to Sports Tonight Live. We've covered Tottenham, we've covered Chelsea, and some would say now we're about to cover the best team in London, QPR. Some would say.
Some people like Pete might say that we're covering.
I certainly would say it. Jeffro would certainly say it. You boys, Arsenal and Tottenham, we'll come to Arsenal a bit later on. We are delighted to say we've got ex-QPR winger Lee Cook on the phone. Good evening, Lee.
Evening, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks very much. Thanks very much for joining us as well. Obviously, we'll talk about your goals a little bit later on, but in terms of the QPR and the season ahead, how do you feel the signings have gone during the summer, Lee?
Well, I don't know why you're all laughing, because we will be the best club sooner rather than later, I imagine. With,
absolutely.
So I'd like the old jokes to stop there.
Yeah.
But as far as this season goes, signing-wise, I don't know really. I'm not too, I wouldn't say happy, but I mean the problem last year, I think we needed attacking players and strikers, and all it seems to be at the minute is we signed defenders. So it's a mixture for me. I'm still waiting for a couple more to come in that's going to get the fire in my belly going. So it's at the minute I'm not too upbeat about it all. Do
you think, Lee, that it's typical Eric Redknapp in as much that on transfer deadline day is going to be unwinding that front window and saying there's no deals to be done and we'll get 2 or 3 on deadline day? They'll talk about Deeney and other players. I mean, do you think that'll happen?
I expect it to. I think a lot obviously depends on what Lloyd Remy's going to do. If we lose him, then I'm sure he's going to be trying very hard to bring someone in to replace him, because if we can get him playing for us, I think he's going to be a big player.
If he was manager, sorry to interrupt you, Lee, but if he was manager of QPR, would you keep, would you do everything to keep him knowing he's going to score you 15 or 18 goals a season?
Oh, without a doubt, yeah. I'll be doing everything possible to keep him. I know he's on a decent contract anyway. But I think, the season before when they got relegated when he was there, we're hoping that it's going to be a completely different situation. He come into the club, they were down the bottom. And we just got to hope that, he can convince him that it's not going to be like that this time and that he enjoys football better than he did last time, because, let's be honest, the season he come in, it was bad. Every week we was losing games, the confidence was low and it was a tough season. So I'm hoping he can keep him. I don't think we'd be able to keep hold of him. I think he's going to go before the deadline day, and obviously Harry needs to bring someone else in, because if he doesn't, I don't see where the goals are going to come from. And
do you think also we've learnt from our mistake first time round, as much as probably a bit we won't name players, but there was a bit of disunity around. He's obviously trying to get the camaraderie there. And in terms of bringing in Glenn Hoddle, how do you see that panning out, Lee?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Glenn's a big name in football, so the players are going to know who he is. They're going to want to work for him. So in that sense, it's could be a true signing. So we have to wait and see on that, Matt. I think he's only part-time at the minute. He's coming in 2 days a week, I believe. But, what Harry thinks is that he needed someone like Glenn to come in. I know Wally Downs was there last year. Obviously, Glenn's come in probably to replace him. And we just have to see on that front. But, in terms of how we're going to do, he needs to make a couple more signings, and I think he knows that as well.
And also last season, I think it's fair to say a lot of the games were quite drab, all important, not conceding goals. Do you think that's? If you were looking at a draw for Saturday, you'd say it's going to be 0-0. But do you think that Harry's going to play that role throughout the season?
Well, that's what I'm concerned about, because last season we didn't really play that well in every week. We was nicking a lot of games 1-0, even in the playoff final. We got played off the park and nicked it 1-0. And I thought, during the summer, I thought they'd really try and bring maybe 5 or 6 top players attacking-wise coming in, because defensively last year we weren't too bad. We kept a lot of clean sheets, and it didn't look like that was going to be priority. And obviously he's going to sign Rio, which you can't complain. He's going to be a good player for us, and Corker as well. But it's still that attacking sense where I think we need something more. I mean, Much has come in, and he's a decent player, but we need some more. We need some more firepower, without a shadow of a doubt.
OK, we've got another QPR fan on the seat here. Jeff, I'd like to ask you a quick question.
Jeff here, I've been going a few years. How you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Good stuff. Talking about attacking players, throughout our history, we've always had exciting wingers. Put the balls in the box. Andy Sinton and Trevor Sinclair, even yourself. The amount of assists you did in the season before you went to Fulham. What's your thoughts on QPR, maybe, if they're going to get a winger the likes of Andros Townsend to assist Charlie Austin and that?
Yeah, I mean, people like Charlie need someone like a winger, creating them the goals, because they're the type of 6-yard strikers, I'd say, in the box, like close for Germany, didn't score one goal outside the 6-yard box. Austin's pretty much the same. He's not a player that enlightens you with flair and skill outside the box and knocks it in from 20 metres, but if you're going to play them kind of strikers, you need the deliveries coming in. So the way he plays, I mean, Hoylett's still floating about, and Sean Wright Phillips. But as I've said before, you need attacking players, and that's what we're short of. A winger certainly should be on the cards anyway.
Yeah, and I guess the $30 million question is: will QPR stay up next season? Do you think?
I think we will. Yeah, I think we will. If he was to say we don't make any more signings, will we stay up? I'd probably say no, but I think he's going to do some shrewd deals, as we said, on deadline day, maybe if not before. And I think we'll do more than stay up. Yeah, I think we'll comfortably stay up. And
did it surprise you that? I mean, obviously it was mentioned that Bobby Zamora would not stay after the playoff, and he scores that clinical finish. There is a role for Zamora to make, and after his bad injury, and he did towards the end of last season show his worth.
Yeah, I mean, the striker needs confidence, and once he got the goal at Middlesbrough, it was a little tap-in from a yard out, he was a different player. So he's coming into pre-season confident, and I think it could be useful for us. I don't think he's going to start, because I think someone else will be signing, and maybe Remy will play, and obviously Austin as well. But he can be used. He can come off the bench. He's getting on a bit now, but he's still got something to offer. I mean, the goal in the final showed what he can do, and like I've said before, strikers need confidence, and if they've got confidence, they can score. He scored at every level, so he's good to have in the camp, I think.
And finally, someone who's still got it a little bit is yourself, Lee. We saw a couple of goals for Barnet. I mean, how are you feeling in yourself? And you're going to go on for a few more years yourself, Lee? Yeah,
I'm hoping to. With the injuries and stuff I had in the past, it's been difficult, but I've fully rehabbed about 2 years ago, and I've managed to have a full season at Leighton Orient, where I played 46 games. And I'm hoping I can do the same this year. I'm enjoying it down there. It's a local club, I didn't want to start travelling up north and mucking about with it all. Martin Allen rang me, wanted me to go down there, so I was happy to sign the contract, and hopefully we can get up and win the league. We've started off great.
And I guess it's all about enjoying your football as well, Lee, isn't it? You get to a point, I guess, where you just want to go out and enjoy your day, kind of thing, as well as playing at a good level.
You've hit the nail on the head, mate. That's exactly what it is. And I'm enjoying my football down there. They're a great set of lads, great management staff. And we're going to have a right go when you've got a team, when you've got a bunch of boys that are all, they're pulling in the right direction, because they all are down there. Everyone's talking about what we can achieve this year, and there's a small bunch of players. We've only got about 18, 19 pros. So when you get a small squad like that, everyone kind of sticks together, and I'm hoping we can win the league this year. We're going to have a right go at it. There's other teams in that division that are favourites ahead of us. But he's signed, Charlie McDonald signed down there, John Akinde. They've got league experience in the team. And we've got a couple of good young players, so we're going to have a go.
OK. Hopefully we'll chat to you throughout the season, Lee. We'll have plenty to speak about QPR and about Barnet. But thanks very much for joining us this evening.
Thanks for having me on. Cheers.
OK, all the best. Right.
Hang on a second. Everyone wants to mess about up north, Lee.
I think he's gone.
He knows. Lee, everyone wants to mess about with clubs up north. I just couldn't let that slide.
Right, okay. Have we got it's still Mourinho tweets, isn't it?
No. Actually, they have been listening, and I've got to say, ready, Kenny, that actually, who finishes higher, Chelsea or Arsenal? People are saying Arsenal. Actually, so far, there's an overwhelming Arsenal. Yeah, really we have been asking QPR versus West Ham. QPR hope West Ham go down. That's from Mark O'Neill. Yep. Really? Is that what we're feeling right now?
We're definitely feeling that.
It's definitely a Spurs fan.
In terms of QPR, I won't come to you first. How does the Arsenal and Tottenham fan feel about QPR? Do you look down on QPR?
I don't look down on QPR. I think they're a great club.
Well, that's enough.
I think the thing with QPR is
he wants to be back next week. That's the thing.
I think with Queen's Park Rangers is that I do worry, and I think like Cookie came out with a lot of points where the goals are going to come from. Because if you get rid of Remy, I don't see how QPR are going to create chances for Austin. Because like if you look at Austin, he's a good goal poacher, does his work inside the box, outside the box. I don't see Austin going past the couple.
You know what? We're going to tweet that question now live. Do QPR need Remy to stay up? Because you don't think they...
I can't see him staying up without him. No.
Right.
Right, it's goals. I just don't see how Austin and Zamora are going to get 15 goals this next season.
So the question is, do QPR have to keep Remy to stay up? Right?
I think so.
Oh yeah, more Remy.
I think so.
Thank you, Peter.
Not that you'll think.
Thank you very much.
But in terms of, so you don't look down. You think we're a great club, which is fantastic. You worry about us, Jeff. Cook's made the point there. That he's not too over the moon about the signings, but I think there's going to be a lot of deals done in the final week.
Yeah, look, we know how Harry works. It is almost like Sky Sports and Jim Watt and that are waiting. It's the Harry hour, which is about 11:30 at night in his Range Rover out the window.
That's of the wingy.
You just know that's going to happen.
Of the wingy. What's that? He's outside the QPR training ground and he can't go in, and he's in his Range Rover waiting by the phone and saying,
that was under Mark Hughes to me.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, can I go in yet? Can I go in?
While they take the mickey, what? I mean, obviously, Ken's made the point about Remy. What do we need?
Listen, Cookie made some good points. Kenny, surprisingly, that he probably doesn't know much about QPR at the moment, has made a very good point. We need goals. Last year we struggled for goals. For me, keep Remy. We stay up at a canter. We finish mid-table with the players we've got. If we don't, keep Remy,
Lee's very much saying he's going to go.
Yeah.
And I think he will.
Listen,
so
if Remy goes, what we need to do, we need to have a decision from Remy literally within the next week, knowing that if he is going to go, we actively try and sell him and have a replacement lined up.
But the point I'm trying to make is, why should we give it to the player? He's contracted to QPR. Why don't we just keep him there?
Because he wants to go. You can do that, Pete, but you know how football works. Yeah. Contract really isn't worth paper it's written on these days. If he wants to go and we need to improve our team with a player that wants to play for us, that can score goals, we got to get rid of him.
But who would it be?
What I would say then is that the MLS season is finishing soon. Jermaine Defoe's out there.
And there's a lot of rumours about that.
Can you see Defoe going to QPR?
Harry playing in London, though.
Nah. London's different.
To keep his fitness on a loan deal.
6 months.
That's Harry Redknapp all over.
But
Harry Redknapp.
It's the same situation.
He did it with Robbie Keane, didn't he?
Yeah, he did it with Robbie Keane.
Does his best work in the box. He's not.
Listen, Jermaine Defoe's a goal scorer, and we need goals.
Yeah, he's a goal scorer. But the bottom
and the point is, we need proven goal scorers at this level.
That's right.
It's okay saying Charlie Austin had a good season, and when he was out, we struggled, which is true.
He's a championship player.
We don't know.
We don't know that.
He might make 15 goals.
All right, you're right, because look at Lambert.
Exactly.
I do.
Grant Holt in the first season.
And I think it's very along the same lines as those players. But if you're one of the big boys, if you're Tottenham or you're Arsenal or you're Chelsea or you're Man United, and look at the team sheet, you think, well, QPR front line is Charlie Austin. You're not going to be worried.
No, I wouldn't be worried.
If you had Jermaine Defoe up front, you'd think, well, hold on a second.
I wouldn't be worried if Jermaine Defoe. I don't rate Jermaine Defoe.
Okay, but that's
Jermaine Defoe.
I'll give you an example.
Jermaine Defoe's got.
He's got a football player.
Jermaine Defoe is one of the most natural finishers that's still around. He was on the bench at Tottenham. He was on the bench at Tottenham because we only played one.
We're going to speak about Arsenal later on.
But what we say with Jermaine Defoe, if he did go to QPR, he would score goals. He thrives in the box, but he is underrated. He is underrated outside the box because when he did play Tottenham in the Europa League, when he was in the Europa League playing with us,
he scored every week.
And he was holding up the ball. Jermaine Defoe, but he's even done it. He's done it in the league. Jermaine Defoe can hold up the ball better than most. I would even also like to say as well,
is Darren respect the goal. He can't play the goal.
He can play.
He can't be in a striker. He
can play his back to goal.
He's always said QPR are a great team. Now he wants Defoe to go to QPR and make him even better.
Not just that. I would even say Darren Ben.
Before we move on. The next part we're going to talk about Crystal Palace for a bit, but hold on a minute. Defensively, he's brought in Rio Foden and Billy Colcat.
I'm over the moon, and I said earlier to the guys, and I think they agreed, which is amazing. In Colcat and Ferdinand, we've got two of the top 4 English centre-halves in the country. And I'll show it's not a biased view, because the other two are Terry and Cahill, who play for Chelsea. Yeah, right. I think Ferdinand should have been in the World Cup squad. I think Colcat should have been in the World Cup squad. I think both of them are better than Phil Jagielka. Yeah. And I think Terry and Cahill were the other two. So I think we've got two of the best English centre-halves at our club. And what they've got, they'll complement each other well, because Ferdinand's going to play a sweeper role. We know that.
You're going to go 3-5-2, isn't he?
Ferdinand's a class player, and you've got Glenn Hoddle, who was a class player, going to teach him that. You've then got Colcat, who's like you're almost your battering ram defender. He'll win the headers, he'll be the bully. Then you've got Anua, who is mega quick, can do the 100 metres in 11 seconds. He will mop up anything. So we've got a nice blend at the back. Defensively, we're fine. As long as Traore stays fit, he's a perfect left wing back. And Isla, the boy we signed from Chile, the World Cup from Juventus, he's a fantastic wing back. Okay. Danny Simpson deserves to play, but Isla's there.
In 2 words, QPR go down, no way?
No, don't see them going down.
Keep Remy, stay up.
Keep Remy, stay up. Hopefully we'll get some feedback on that.
Stay up.
Have we got any feedback on that?
We do, actually. Not the Remy one. We do have, we're in favour of West Ham completely.
Right.
ourselves.
Oh, West Ham finished above QPR. I don't quite understand that one.
No.
We are going to be speaking about West Ham, Crystal Palace, and also about Arsenal as well. We've had the Tottenham. We had a whole debate about Arsenal yesterday. So if you want to tweet in and get involved on the Arsenal subject, Palace, or the subject that we've spoken about as well, about Mourinho not winning the trophy for the last 2 years. Had to put that in just before the break, didn't I? But anyway, we're going to be speaking about Palace after this short one.